listening to Authors First on the Artists First World Radio Network, AuthorFirst.com. Tony K in the studio. Thanks for joining us, everyone, worldwide. If you are an author, independent recorded artist, or have a great idea for your own weekly show, simply follow the links provided at AuthorFirst.com. Be sure to share all of the content with everyone you know on your social networks. All content available free on demand in MP3 for your mobile devices. This hour on Authors First, it's my privilege to introduce Cheyene Lopez. He's an author of a fascinating book. You're going to love hearing his story. And we have some music to go along from his lovely wife, and we'll get introduced to the whole clan right here. It's the story, it's the book, The Ballad of Lizzy Jane, Aces of Hearts. For your convenience, we have the link to buy the book available, and you're going to love it. Let's give a warm Artist First welcome to our guest, the unique, the talented. Hey, how you doing, Cheyene?
I'm doing wonderful, Tony.
Thanks for allowing me to give you a hard time this hour on our network and for gracing our airways with your talent. Where did this idea, The Ballad of Lizzy Jane, Aces of Hearts, come from?
Well, it came from because I liked Westerns, and my favorite author was William Moore. And I loved many of his books, which... You know, the stories about the Kenyans, and I placed myself as a character of one of the books, characters here in this book, Jake and Patrick, and living in the Old West.
Wow.
And what it would be like.
What
I had
fun.
to get to feel the book.
Yeah. So this type of material, Westerns, this has been a big part of your life.
Well, it's...
in terms of literature, what you enjoy watching on TV, this has been something you really enjoyed.
Yes, it would, and I feel it would really make a great miniseries or television show or even a big screen movie picked up by the right producer and directors. And I feel it could go places, this book.
You certainly have compelling characters and storyline and a richness of knowledge backdrop. Are you a bit of a historian too?
Yes, I get into doing history, and I study it. And for instance, growing up, I studied a lot about the Civil War and the West, and I pictured myself as being in that time. And what it'd be like, for instance, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, okay, in the Mississippi River adventures. I felt like I could be in the air and, just see, like, the gunfights of the tombstone of the Old Kid Corral. And I loved John Wayne, as he was an influence in my movies, watching him growing up. And I think it's what got me the big influence right there. So I've done a lot of research into the writing of this, the slang, and the terms of the Old West. So I went to many different sources and got the words, the meanings of them, and what it would be. So that's where it came to starting. And I got the idea from a song that my wife did also. We did a song, Aces of Hearts, an album as well. And we did another one called The Ballad of Lizzy Jane, which is for sale on Amazon.com and CreateSpace.com. So I'm planning on doing a sequel to this book, and it's called Hawks Flat. There's a surprise twist in the ending of this book. And everybody thinks Lizzy Jane's going to die in this book, which it does. But the surprise is that she's not dead. There's a legend. The story is that this leaves tears to you, leaves a tingling feel. And Jake would do anything for Lizzy in this book. And her family was left for dead, including her, by a gang of outlaws. And Jake come across him, and he grew up in the. Let me go back to the history of him. He grew up in the Kansas territory, and he had killed some 26 men in all before he turned age 21. And he'd been and lived in the Colorado territory after all the town of Broken Bow, Kansas had been wiped out by illness. And Jake came back to visit that town years later, and only one person he knew from school, her name was Lucy, and she survived, and he stayed there for the winter. As we go on in the book, we'll find many adventures. He has a Native American Indian friend, and who teaches him basically the trails and incense, the fever of how to feel out the enemy that would be coming. That's what I won't say, the enemy, but that's a perfect word for it.
Well, Cheyenne, when you began writing and thinking about these characters in this storyline, were you envisioning maybe multiple books, a series of books from the very beginning?
I thought maybe it would pick up and sell, and that's why I really wanted to promote this book, because I feel, and let me go say this, I put my feel and heart into what I write. That's what makes me a different writer out there than any other writer on the market. And for instance, Jake inherited a ranch where he worked at. The man treated him good. Jake worked as a cowhand. He was trained. He learned a gunfight. And he had a best friend, and he'd go to San Francisco, take Lizzie there, bought her pearls, and so on. But the truth is, I envisioned this being leading into a sequel, yes.
And your wife, I believe her name is Patricia?
Yes. She's also known as independent recording artist.
Yeah.
Patricia Bluewater.
Now, is she one of the characters in the book? Does she have, and do you have a role that's predominant?
No, but she influences me, and she supports me in writing, and I love her, bless her heart. She's wonderful to me. And I actually envisioned different characters, from what came to me. It's not where I got them, by the people.
Yeah, no, what I meant, Cheyenne, is you always thought of yourself as, boy, I wish I could be one of those characters. And I was just curious if you made that happen as the writer, if you would say you were the sheriff or you were the whatever, the bad man or the good man.
I actually envisioned, yes, I would say I did. I envisioned myself as one of the gunfighters who came across Jake, for instance, in a saloon where he gambled for the cards at the end. He won. You'll see that he won $60,000, and no one dared call him a coward, but I envisioned myself as that, and I also envisioned myself as Jake, being the good guy. You was talking about the movie. I felt it would lead into a movie. For instance, I pictured like Robert Redford maybe playing the older character of his father, or Tom Selleck would be a great character for his father. So those are people I vision and feel would be into the book.
What fun for you to have this book actually be a place that you feel comfortable to maneuver in. After decades of reading Westerns and saying, boy, I could write that, or boy, I wish I was that person, And now here you are actually doing it and feeling a part of the whole book, like you were living it.
Yes, and I pictured myself going out to the Great Plains, what it would be like, nothing like this here in this day and age, but just the nature and wildness and feel of being free. Just nothing around but just the land itself. The land, that's what made me feel to love, I fell in love with it. And of course, I also, as another influence I've had, is my traveling quite a bit through the country, and that also influenced me too, because the history, for instance, of Kansas, the history of Texas, the cattle drives. That's one I did another research on that led me to doing this book.
And of course, you have the music, and every Western, there's the banjo player, the piano player, there's a theme song, there's always the music to go with it. And your lovely wife, Patricia, is a musician, a composer, and I have a track here titled Covered Bridges from her independent recording from her CD. It's available on cdbaby.com. So is that all right, Cheyenne? Why don't I go ahead and play it for our audience, see what they think?
Go ahead.
This is Covered Bridges. Yeah, let's take a listen.
Prohibition to how the Kennedy family made its money.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Here's try this one. Hold on. That was the Kennedy family made their money. Well, we know how the Kennedy family made their money, audience. Okay, Tony K. Okay, let's try this now. Lopez wife of our guest this hour, Cheyenne Lopez. CD available on cdbaby.com. Cheyenne, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. It feels good to be with you. And it feels good to have this book being heard by the world, you know.
Well, I felt that was the opening music to something I might see on TV for a Western.
Oh, it would, because the reason I chose that particular song was because, well, I grew up in Alabama, which is where I was born at, and down there's a lot of covered bridges. For instance, they have one at Knockaloo Falls, and I used to go see it growing up as a kid. And those are what drawed me, you know. And then I moved to Georgia, and I've lived in numerous places, and it really did.
You left Alabama.
Bring life to me.
Oh, boy. I don't know.
I started out as a poet.
I love Alabama. I do. I'm from Ohio, but I do love Alabama. That is a fact.
If you ever get a chance, there's a place in there called Weiss Lake. And
yes.
So relaxing.
Oh, my. And I take it you enjoy outdoors?
I love it. Yes, I do.
All things relating to outdoors. When you were growing up or in your current experience, have you been around any rodeos?
Actually, I did go see some, yes.
Yeah. I've been to many rodeo and grew up with farming. Two of my uncles and my cousin had farms, and so that's been my life, early childhood. And you have an appreciation for nature when you're right out there with it.
And see, as a little boy, nothing. I would do my chores around. I grew up on a small 100-acre farm on the mountains. I grew up in a little town called Collinsville, Alabama, and I loved getting out in the woods. I had a secret place. I'd take paper and just either write or draw. I had better feel to what came to me and putting it on paper than what I could say.
I'm sorry, audience. I neglected to tell you. I believe the album is Southern Grounds.
Yes, by Trisha Bluewater.
Okay, Patricia Bluewater, or Trisha Bluewater. Okay,
right.
And that's also available at cdbaby.com.
Right.
Now, are these artists around you, or how are they? I mean, I know your wife, Patricia, but what about Trisha Bluewater? Is she nearby, or?
Oh, hold on a minute. Yes, she is. Bear with me there, Tony.
Okay. And we'll just get the artist's input here while we have the chance.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? Is this Trisha?
Yes, it is.
Well,
how are you?
Great. Thank you for joining AuthorFirst World Radio Network. We've been involved with independent recorded artists since 1996. We have well over 4 million downloads a month from our internet radio station. And thank you so much. Matter of fact, we were involved with in the very beginning of cdbaby.com with Derek Sievers. And at one time, we were selling CDs ourselves when we began as a company before the radio. So congratulations on this artistic journey. And now, what brought you to your music together with our author, with Cheyenne Lopez? How did that connection occur?
We actually met on the internet.
No kidding. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And that happens quite often today. Now, were you in different parts of the country?
Well, he was in Georgia, and then I met him, and then I moved there for 6 months, and then we moved back here to Michigan.
Back to Michigan, and
we got married in Alabama.
In Alabama, okay.
Yeah.
So you've met the whole family, and what a wonderful experience, the merger of your talents together here.
Correct.
Writing music, quite different than writing a novel, and yet do you think there's some connection between the two?
Well,
we just listened.
Sorta, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do write from a lot from what I've experienced in life with my books as well as my music.
So you're an author too?
Yes, I'm an author too.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for supporting the arts and being our guest this evening on the show. Can you tell us a little bit about, is Lonesome one of yours?
Is what? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Lonesome Sound?
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of yours?
Yes.
Tell us about it, and I'll play it for our audience.
Lonesome Sound is about a train. Actually, my husband wrote the lyrics for that, and I did the melody and put the music together with it.
Wow. So the imagery there is rather a desert place, open fields, open territory, and some lonely tracks and a train passing through.
Yes.
And that adding that sound, that energy, ambiance to nature.
Yeah. So to speak, yeah.
Well, let's hear it, and thank you for joining us. Hold on one second. We're going to put this
welcome.
on. Let's see if we can open that up. Let's try that. Lonesome Sound on the Artist First World Radio Network by independent recording artist Trisha Blue Water, performed with her husband, our author this hour, Cheyenne Lopez. CD available on cdbaby.com. Thanks a lot for joining us, audience. Wow, what a great time you two are having on this creative, collaborative effort between the both of you.
Oh, it's just amazing because it's not just that on this particular album, which we wrote it down in Georgia and recorded it there. And my wife, she's very gifted. She does one try and one takes. Very gifted on that.
Yeah, that is amazing. It really is. The Ballad of Lizzy Jane, Aces of Heart, the novel. And for your convenience, audience, we have the web link provided at AuthorSfirst.com. Tony K in the studio. Thanks for joining us, everyone worldwide. Be sure to support all independent authors and artists out there. You'll be richly rewarded for doing so. And share the content with everyone you know on your social network sites. The Ballad of Lizzy Jane by our guest, Cheyenne Lopez. Cheyenne, when you began thinking about this book, did you just sit down and begin writing one day, or was it a...
Yeah, I did. Actually, I did.
Yeah.
And I finished the book, and it took me 4 months to write it. And I just sit down, started typing, and it all came together.
That is amazing. It really is. And however, I've interviewed authors who've taken 10 years or 10 minutes, depending on how the spirit moves. And you fell right into the world you wanted to be in, and it wasn't that difficult for you to pound this out because it's something you love.
Yes, it was. And most of all, I want to thank Publish America because they're the ones that gave me the chance. And I really am blessed that they gave me the opportunity of the contract to be able to write this book. And
I know. We've interviewed hundreds of Publish America guests, and they are a credible organization. They really care about the success of the author, and they recognize their success. The author's success means Publish America succeeds.
They got a good staff.
Yes, they do.
They put together the cover. We worked together on the cover of the book, the design and the background I chose. Well, I wanted to cover the print and type print.
Yeah, I think you found out right away being an author is a big job. You have to wear lots of hats.
Oh, it is. Nowadays, since I'm also with Create Space, I design my own covers and the cover background, and which I also not just publish with them. I publish with ebooks with Amazon Kindle, and I have over 200 titles plus, counting our CDs too. And for instance, I'm working on another book. It's a novel, by the way, and it's going to be coming out in the next 3 months. It's called "And Vietnam Was Over," which we also have a CD by that title, and the audience can look forward to that, which is a story about a man who's possessed, and he has a demon beast in, and he's been possessed with this beast ever since he was a kid. It rages at him, and he's drafted into the Vietnam War, affected by Agent Orange, and this book in particular will also help I believe the Vietnam veterans and many other people can understand what they went through. That
is, of course, a totally different topic and way out of the Western
right, I just wanted
genre.
Introduce audience to my coming works.
I mean, that is a totally different... Now, is that coming from some experience of your own or a relative of thinking about Vietnam?
I had relatives that was in Vietnam, friends that's in Vietnam. I missed Vietnam by 1 year in age. And I don't know, it just came to me, got this feel a couple of years back with this title. And I've been trying to put together since, the feel of it and each storyline. What's really hard for us authors is coming up with the different storylines for the book. It's particular for Lizzy Jane, and sometimes we get writer's block, but it gets our way if we have a day or two off, maybe a week off. But the feel comes back. It's always there. It's natural. It's a drawing. It's a pull. It never goes away.
Or you get set into, well, I'm all about westerns, I'm all about horror, or all about sci-fi, and it's difficult to break away, perhaps, and think of a different period of time, a different topic of society, politics, all the things that were going on in the world during the Vietnam era, which is a modern context as compared to the more rugged, well, let's just shoot it out in the street days.
Exactly. See, let me get back to this, Lizzy Jane. See, the story takes place in the 1860s, the book originally begins, and then it leads off to the ending of 1873. Like on the back cover, it says, "This is a classic Western romance of two gunfighters. Once a man named Jake McPatrick laid eyes on a girl left for dead by outlaws. Jake took her, raised her, and she became a gunfighter too." Well, anyway, they fell in love, and the year was 1873. And then this guy, Dusty Martinet, he teaches Jake to shoot. But like I said earlier, by the time Jake's 21, he killed some 26 in all, left them for dead. Lizzy Jane herself, if anybody called her Jake a coward, a cheat, a liar, a thief, they better not, because she would draw her 6-shooters and turn around and shoot them. They have mutual respect for one another. Well, overall, this book will leave the readers that buy it, and especially the lovers of the West, it'll leave them with a spirit of love, that they haven't felt before. And in the ending of the book...
Oh, no, don't do that yet, because we're going to play Southern Love. Okay. Right? Let's play Southern Love, because this is a romantic episode as well. I mean, there's a lot of that in this book.
Yes, there is.
So let's see if I can make that happen. Turn it on. Let's try that. Southern Love by independent recorded artist Trisha Blue Water from her album Southern Grounds, available at cdbaby.com. The wife of our guest this hour, author Cheyene Lopez. Cheyene, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Wow, what a creative, collaborative effort both of you have put together. And I understand that, or did I understand correctly, that you also performed in the music?
Well, I didn't perform. What I did is a children's album. I did the voice impression. And one album, Spin Cycle, I played the keyboards on.
Yeah.
I played all of them but one song on it. And I played the organ. And like I said, on Ducky Do a children's album, which we did. It's available on Amazon.com and Create Space. I did the voice impressions for them.
What fun the both of you are having. And there's a lot of work that goes into choreographing, writing, planning. Once you have the Ballad of Lizzy Jane, Aces of Hearts out there, which you do, then all of this material, you two must spend quite a bit of time working on it together.
Oh, yes, we do. And sometimes we'll put probably, I'm going to say about 18-hour day, sometimes 12 hours working.
Yeah. And of course, it doesn't feel like work because you're having fun, but it is. It is a lot of work.
It's quite a bit of fun, and I enjoy. Sometimes I enjoy taking time off to write a song, and get the idea. Well, for instance, I think I'm a better gospel writer than I am of all. But the song, for instance, the song "Lonesome Sound," you just played a while back. I used to go on steam train excursions as a little boy from Chattanooga back to Collegeville, and I enjoyed the ride.
It gives you a chance to remember those early days. Yeah, I mean, those are deep emotions, memories that you can bring back out and use them in a creative way to share the feeling.
Exactly. I put that feel of in the memory of that train, even into the book, in the creativity of, when Jake and Lizzie would get on the train, go to San Francisco, or even a steamboat. I pictured of course, I've been to Memphis, and I've seen the steamboats go down the Mississippi, like the General Jackson, and they gave me the idea even more so to write this. And history of buckboards and covered wagons, which I've seen in museums, or even some farmers here in Michigan, they come on the side of the road or in their yard on display. For instance, in the little town up here, there's a Western. It's got a sign in the cover in an old buckboard wagon, and it really brings back memories.
Yeah, it does. Now, do you think our readers should also have the CD to go with it? I mean, I've tried to mix that in a little bit this hour. Do you think it's helpful to have the music with the book?
Oh, definitely. And it tells Jake, for instance, song about Jake McPatrick, Aces, the lead song, Aces Are on Volume 1. It tells the story itself of the book. And it tells about Jake. You can imagine the Apple Dumpling Gang, the movie, for instance, where one of them had the front of his hat folded against the top of his hat. And that's what Jake did. And he wore a handlebar mustache. And he is tall. He had black hair. You can picture that, in the way he rode the horse and fit the saddle.
Cheyene, how is this book, this music, whole program, project, however you want to word it, how has this affected your life, your energy for life, your relationships? Has it really become an integral part of who you are?
Yes, it has. stand by each other, support each other. We, for instance, our books, we'll read them aloud to each other, much of it, and see how it sounds, and we'll discover our mistakes. And not to mention we have to do the editing ourselves, but it's brought us closer in a lot of areas, and brought a lot more influences.
Yeah, it's become more than a hobby.
It's become, yeah, right.
It's a way of life. Work. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's 24/7 way of life.
Exactly. I eat, drink, and think of books.
Yeah. Now, will the two of you be taking the show on the road?
Never know. The doors are open.
Well, many authors do book signings, and they travel to cities. Certainly, you could create a whole stage presence for the Ballad of Lizzy Jane, Aces of Hearts, table and chairs, the outfits, and come out with your boots and spurs and make a presence. You know,
it would be wonderful to do that.
And your lovely wife could come out, and you two could. Well, no, you're friends in the book, so you can't shoot it out, but.
The whole thing goes.
But I'm sure that it would be a big draw. I mean, Western creative artists coming to town and just pack the place. Sign some books.
But right now, we've got to improve. It's not just the will of wanting to do it. It's right now. We kind of going through some personal things, health-wise, you know.
Oh, it's a lot of work. It really is. It really is a lot of work. Hey, I'd like to fit in, if you don't mind, For the Memory of You.
Oh, you know that song? It's about the town of where I grew up, and which it also influenced me into writing this book, Collegeville.
All right, let's see if I can open it for our audience, all right?
All right.
You've been listening to the work of creative artists Patricia and Cheyenne Lopez on the AuthorFirst Radio Network. Their track, For the Memory of You. Thank you so much, Cheyenne, for joining us and telling us the backstory of this wonderful novel and CD and the relationship you have with your wife. It's been our privilege to have you on board.
Thank you, Tony.
Before I let you go, anyone out there on planet Earth you'd like to say hello to or closing remarks? And I know that you'll be back because you're planning another release in a few months.
Yes, I just want to say to my fans and the people who buy us books, be sure to check our books out, and I don't think you'll regret them, including our children's books, not just at Publish America, but also at our other publishers, including Amazon.com and Amazon Kindle, Book Tango, Book Ritz, Book Country now, which we're publishing with, and also Create Space. And you can keep on looking for new works coming, including CDs we'll be working on. And just check us out. And also check our online retail stores out, such as Zazzle.com, Wardens, and Pringu, Redbubble, to name a few. And design some of our children's books on there. And I just want to say to my fans and my readers, just keep on buying. And be sure to buy Lizzy Jane. You won't regret it.